So fast forward. Fast forward. Kinangalan now. Fast forward, we have conducted, alhamdulillah, several projects such as Coffee Talk with Malay Hassan Osman. It's also roundtable discussion. And we have also held The Nang is Good and also Tempo Kitani, another roundtable discussion. And now, today, you are here as participants of Ikon and Urban. It's a crossover. Now, who has watched or like listened to the Ikon episodes? Can I see a raise of hands? Okay. Then I try that. But thank you so much for coming in today. So Ikonan Brunei, it is a podcast series, our initiative, to showcase all these inspirational youths of different youths. Because we want to inspire all the other youths in order for them to do the same, if not even better. Because this is also aligning with Wawasan Brunei 2035 goal number. So today, Icon and Brunei is a crossover. It is going to be the final episode for this season. So thus far, we have already 4 episodes, excluding the 0 episode. We had our episode 0, which was an introduction to Vil-laju and introduction to Icon and Brunei. Episode 1 featuring our badminton national athlete, Marhanif Ali. He's at the back. Give a round of applause to him. Our second episode features Adib Zaki, a youth change maker. He's at the back as well. And our third episode, Sophie Kiho, Eurasian and proud Murid illustrator. And lastly, our final episode features Puchar Mashur, a horologist. And we also have our moderator here, Shahira. She is a youth lead. Back. Now, to conclude my remarks, on behalf of Vil-laju, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for making this happen. Because without each and every one of you, there wouldn't be Icon It's a crossover today. Imagine if you have an event. Yeah. So I would also thank especially our speakers, Hanif, Adib, Sophie, and Putra, as well as Amar, for being here today, for spending your time with us on this Sunday morning, as well to our participants. As the Icon Icon Bilya Sahaya Negara. Let's not just be leaders of tomorrow. Let's be leaders now. Taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We now move to the highlight of today's event, the panel discussion. Inviting our moderator, a Bruneian youth leader, certified trainer, and a passionate advocate on gender empowerment, leadership, and community development. Presenting Amar Shahira. And joining her today, we've got our distinguished lineup of speakers. First up, Sophie Kiho. And next, we have Adib Zaki. Followed by Marhanif Ali. And last but not least, Putra Mashor. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them another warm round of applause.
All right, thank you so much, MC. I do apologize coughing at the mic because I thought it was my turn. So I'm like, thank you so much. All right, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning, everyone. How's your energy? Very good. I think like it's a Sunday morning and everyone is just, why am I here? Because, but at the same time, if you listen to the head of Vil-laju talking about why youth is important, what work they're doing, how insightful they are, you be surprised in what they're doing at the same time. So this is a special panel. Welcome to Ikon, Anak, Brunei. It is a crossover edition. So hosted by Vil-laju, we are excited to have you all of you here. So now, before we start, let's play a bit of a game. You guys know the game, would you rather this or that? Right? So you pick whichever that, feels as though it is within your heart. But before anything, let's do some housekeeping. So first, I would like you to ask you to switch off your phone or lower the volume down so that everyone would actually listen to our very special panelists. So that it's very respectful. But if the ringtone is like soda pop, I would just I want to listen to that as well. So today's panelists, we are sharing their journey, and honestly, I would love you guys to listen to it. But by the end of the session, there is a Q&A. There are two things you can do about this. You can do a QR code, which I know that they're going to have it, or you guys are going to go walk forward and ask the question personally to themselves. So just mention their name, mention their question. And also, today's session is live streamed. There's 1, 2, maybe 3. So this one is actually on you. So say hi to the camera once in a while. Oh, thank you for the wave. Love that. So today's space is you too. So sit back, let's relax and talk about what is today's session. All right. Sedia. All right. Would you rather spend your weekend outdoors hiking Tamburo or chilling at the cafe with your friends? Hiking. Raise your hand. Oh my God. Nice. So the rest are cafe people. Okay, there's the word called indoorsy and outdoorsy. So the outdoorsy people are the Tamburo one. Okay, would you rather, do you think the future of learning will be more about university degrees or skills that you learn throughout? Skills, raise your hand. University degrees, raise your hand. Wow, I love that. Okay. Skills, can you speak out what type of skills that you guys are learning throughout? Leadership skills, communication. Pardon? Oh, sorry, it's okay. I'll talk to you later. Okay, one more. Well, technically 3 more. So when it comes to job, would you rather be your own boss or entrepreneur or work in a big established company? Right. So on boss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, interesting. Well, probably 7. 6.5. 2 more. For next future, do you think we should invest more in green energy and sustainability, or we go towards a digital or innovation technology? That's hard, right? That's hard because Brunei is expanding more on their GDP. I'm going towards the science part, but I feel like everyone's still thinking. Wiz, you are thinking at the back. What is your answer? Nantita. Last one, because this is talk about youth, right? And we're talking about Wawasan 2035. If no one knows about Wawasan 2035, ada Google. It's okay, use that. Okay, by 2035, Wawasan Brunei imagines us as a nation, educated, highly skilled, accomplished people. So which one do you think is more important? Focus first on education and human capital or innovation and entrepreneurship? Everyone is thinking about that. All right, hold that thought and then we'll come back. Okay, come back to our panelists and speakers. Why are you kajut? I don't bite. I'm nice. I don't bite. Okay, I love this energy. Okay, I have this question. Do you guys know any one of our panelists personally, work related, or okay? I see a nod. I see a no. Let's do this introduction. Each one of you would have 5 minutes. 5 minutes to introduce. 1 minute? Okay, I told you to ramble on. So 5 minutes to introduce yourself, but you need to pick which emoji you usually use during WhatsApp, and I will give you a random question which you need to choose. Okay, let's start with our very own Sophie. Introduce 5 minutes. What is your favorite emoji? And hot take. If you could step into any of the children's book for a day, which one would it be? Hard one. Hey, That's the point of a panel. Okay. Just give a warm round of applause and encouragement for our own very own Sophie.
What's the first question?
Introduce Dilla.
Okay.
Introduce Dilla.
Okay, so my name is Sophie.
Hello, Sophie. Thank you.
I'm a near Asian. I'm half Brunei and half Irish. I work as an illustrator
Love
with
that
a foreign company in Singapore. I work home and I work with some freelancers in Brunei to do their children's books, like Parabel or some independent creators that just do their little books for their.
Great. What is your favorite emoji that you use in WhatsApp?
Oh, I'm quite shy right now.
All right, and then the question, the hot take. If you could step into any children's book for a day, which one would it be?
That's really hard, but I do feel my recent book, I'm counting down with Aiman, because Aiman's a little girl. She's going around Brunei with her two older siblings, and she's exploring Brunei and having all her like favorite foods, durian, rambutan, and she's like counting and exploring like, what's this Brunei? What's this food? Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much, Sophie. Warm round of applause, everyone. You know, it's a chance for you afterwards to talk to Sophie about this book because I love listening, and then us everyone loves durian, so talk about that. Okay, next speaker, Adib. 5 minutes about yourself. I'll give you the question at the end. Dear Fakajit.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning to everyone. My name is Adib Zaidul Zaki bin Haji Abdul Manaf, known as Adib Zaki. And currently I'm studying in UNISA. And I started my volunteering journey in 2018. Yeah.
Just talk about yourself. Okay. Let's just do this. What is your favorite emoji?
I think yang the shade apa? Dia pakai kacamata.
Okay, pakai kacamata. And then the smiley face or like just the nerd one?
Smiley.
Okay lah. I'll take that. Okay, your question. What's the one thing people always get wrong about volunteering life?
Get wrong?
Yeah, like the very misconception about volunteering.
That's actually a hard question sebenarnya.
That's why I asked.
Ada jawapan? Ada. Tolong. Kejap, let me think first. Kira apa?
Yeah, I think I can help you with this. So, because I volunteered for how many years of my life already. One of the misconceptions about volunteering that I would always get is, of course, volunteering is in the name. It's unpaid. And whatever you take as unpaid means that you're just wasting your time doing something for free. But in actual fact, it has gained so many recognition for myself, and I have been going towards other countries. So that's one of the misconceptions that I faced so far. What about yours?
I think sama pa lang. Macam apa, kacau dulu. And especially during the COVID times, ada this one NGO namanya Sukarlon Bedia kan. So everyone just get paid lah. Then after that, dia macam usually maybe because of that since until the COVID kan, so they rely on itulah dapat allowance saja. But for now, macam banyak lah sudah the exposure of volunteering, not only for khidmat masyarakat, not only for CV, but an additional to about skills and also experience and so on.
All right, thank you so much, Adib. Round of applause, everyone. Let's just give them all the support that they need. All right, now our next speaker, Marhanif. 5 minutes about yourself, your favorite emoji, and your hot take. If you weren't playing badminton, which sport would you want to play or master?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my name is Muhammad. Currently I'm national. So yeah. So yeah, I actively join tournament like internationals. Baru ni pun aku baru balik dari Thailand and Ikon meeting. And yeah,
Congratulations. That sounds so nice. Did you get any souvenirs? And about today? No snacks?
but
Oh, joke. All right, what's your favorite emoji?
young love emoji.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're a funny man, huh? So if you weren't playing a badminton, what sport would you want to master?
The new one.
Such a white person game, huh?
Yeah.
But it's okay, but I love that. Thank you so much, Marhanif. Last one. Oh, Mike, please. Okay. Pull in.
Yes.
All right, our last one, our very own Putra. 5 minutes about yourself, your favorite emoji, and your hot take. Classic vintage watches or modern smart watches?
Wait, watches or
Watch.
watchers?
Watches. But what is watchers? Watches.
Depends.
So classic vintage or smart watches? Which one or and why?
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Putra Masho. I'm a entrepreneur. I'm a youth entrepreneur and I'm also a final year student in applied physics. At the same time, I'm pursuing businesses. So it's kind of like a hit or miss type of thing. But life, you second succeed in life in a way. And question again.
Classic vintage
Classic
watches
vintage watches.
or the modern smart
But the
watches?
emoji comes first, right?
What do you love?
I think personally for me, I like to use this emoji the most.
Oh, chuba. What's that? Chuba.
It's the word
Oh, what's the name?
Emoji.
Oh, chuba.
chmende.
Cameraman?
Because we, as the youth say, we should spread love, not hate.
Oh, thank you for the deep quote for the morning. It's too early for this.
I know.
I
I
know.
haven't had breakfast yet.
Okay, so vintage, classic vintage, or smart watches?
Honestly,
Pick and why?
I have nothing against smartwatches, but I would go for the traditional form of watches without a doubt. But like I said, I have nothing against smartwatches. They're totally fine. They're totally cool. But personally, I just don't prefer.
All right, that's a personal opinion. It's okay.
Exactly.
And we know judgy, okay? All right, since you are our last speaker to talk, I'll just give you the first question of the day. So, okay, it's okay. It's about yourself.
Definitely.
It's not equal to MC square. It's fine. So, what
I
first?
prefer that.
Please don't. Please don't. So, first question for you. What first drew you into horology, a craft that is so rare in Brunei?
Personally, it's started off as a hobby. I would never expect that I'd pursue, especially in the watch industry. I've always liked watches since I was little. Got my first watch.
Audience here, audience here.
Got my first watch. I got my first watch from my parents. 10. I never knew how much I'd be drawn to it. I think that I don't know. The longer I wore it, the longer I felt as though I'm nice, you know. So at the same time, I collected my collection of watches. I bought them with my own savings, and at one point in life, to be exact, during my second year in UB. Sorry. Okay. Thank you.
Yaman gulong-gulong bukan tissue. Salah.
So I decided to pursue business because I do believe that I have a knack for it. Actually, when it comes to, I've done multiple businesses in the past, and I was even surprised. I was even taken aback that I was capable of doing such things. I never realized that I had the potential to, how would I say, start a business myself, because I feel like the hardest part about starting a business is without doubt the initiation itself. When it comes to planning, it's totally okay. Everyone can plan. But when it comes to the initiation itself, I know that's the most difficult part. The. And during my second year, I decided to pursue business while taking physics. Not entirely a bright idea, I would say. But at the same time, you don't need business degree to start a business. Skills, experiences, and that's what I did. I combined my passion for pictures as well as my passion for entrepreneurship and realized Putra Timeworks Brunei.
I love that. I love that you are speaking about like you are balancing both education and also creating that business quite early on, because in the reality of Brunei is like once you graduate, that's
Yeah,
like
'cause-
the first thing that you have to step in, which is a work leave, and then it's scary.
exactly. Especially these days, it's quite difficult to find a job. So entrepreneurship could be one of the options you could think about in seeking a career after you're graduated, or while you're graduating, or while you're still studying.
What was your first watch that your parent gave you?
I don't entirely remember, but
That was your first
I-
watch. Aren't you supposed to know that?
there's a few. I think it was a G-Shock. It's quite nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
very
it's-
classic.
yeah,
That's so
I know,
classic.
it's very
I love
classic.
that.
I think it's still alive somewhere.
It's okay. It's part of your museum history, so that
Yeah.
one time, like one day you'll be like, oh, this is like Putra's collection, baby's
Exactly.
collection. I love that.
That's a possibility.
All right, thank you so much, Putra. Okay, moving on to our next question, to our next speaker. So you've probably represented Brunei recently, and you just came back. So can you take us back, like this question as well? What is your beginning? What is your origin story? I said origin story, not villain origin. Okay. So what sparked your passion for badminton, and how did that journey unfold?
So before I play badminton, I used to play football actually.
Sama tu, bro. Ini sitim gali, bro. I think against each other gali, bro.
Di luar ada parking besar. Karang cuba.
Ada bola.
Just barefoot je karang lah.
Biasa sudah.
Bola ada bola.
Komiti bola karang, sediakan sedia.
Ah,
Please, we're talking about youth today, not football. Don't start with the Manchester and Liverpool here. I wouldn't know. Oh, controversial, I know.
so yeah, play football. Sekolah menengah dulu lah. Sekolah ada yang semua badminton dan running and also football. Then after I think form 5, I met one of that. Okay, let's main badminton lah. I try it like siap juga. So my brother used to play badminton juga. He sekarang ikut. Sudah say that I want to join badminton lah. Dan dia bawa one of the hall di Kentiri. That's the first hall yang aku masuk. Till now.
Yeah, that's nice. From a sport that is kicking around a ball to a sport that is just slapping a shuttlecock around. Nice. So it's very tawa ko,
What a way to describe it.
right?
Yeah, slapping.
It's like a beginner's level of like trying to know the sport,
Definitely.
right? So like when you're entering that hall, do you feel like that aura of like, oh, this is nice. This is me.
Ada lagu lagi tu.
Oh, you know. I like it that he's like backing me up with this. So what was your first feeling on your first game? Like for example, it's like a friendly match with someone.
Feelings the former player manager.
Oh, was he?
Now no, I mean as a-
Oh, partner. Sorry, maaf. Dulu. Oh, dulu lagi. Oh, maaf.
but now he's my coach now.
Jangan gitu ya.
So of the year. Very social play.
That was international. Okay.
Yeah.
Zaki, we're just gonna talk about volunteering because that is your background,
Boleh,
and I
boleh.
think I've known you from Majelis Kuliah Brunei.
Yes.
I think it's the mic first.
Ada.
Okay. So as I was talking about their origin story, and then you were talking about COVID-19, and that is where you spoke about volunteerism. What benefits has been given to you? Have you volunteered? Because I read your bio. You've been very active in your own village, very active with Majelis Spirit Brunei, and a lot of the religious side of volunteering. What was the benefit that's been given to you personally and professionally?
Okay, so soalan yan ya.
Bagus. You think this is my first rodeo?
Baru
Please.
first question dia macam mana? Oh, this one. So,
Baca
So-
bismillah, bro.
thank you.
Just kasi pakai songkok ha.
Okay, so banyak so lah.
The audience is here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so macam banyak lah. For different people will have different skills lah that they learn. But for me, personally, since I volunteered as a committee with Generasi Bekare as a logistic committee. So from there, ada this one mentor, this one adalah committee. He's my mentor. Katanya nya, kalau bukan sekarangnya, bila lagi ya? Dan kalau bukan kita ni, siapa lagi? So
Another deep quote for this
Yeah.
morning. Huh? I'm expecting
Yeah.
from both of you.
Mau je bro. Mau lah. So itulah macam macam itulah hanya kalau bukan kita ni siapa tu lagi nya? Ini kan ini tunggu our next generation. So it's us lah. Since we are the future leaders, insyaAllah we are the future leaders of Brunei. Mana future leaders of Brunei? Semangat sikit. Tak apa-apa ya semangat di hati tau. Kita berkobar-kobar tau sebenarnya.
Berarti kamu ni orang Vil-laju ah. Soalnya energy mesti high. I'm looking at all of you.
Maybe belum breakfast kali ah.
Salah kami tu.
Oh, tak apa-apa lah.
No, we're not concerned about that.
Okay, so skills ah. So leadership skill confirm lah ha. Macam everyone will learn on how to lead and on how to listen instruction from the leader itself. So a leader is not only the one who listens instruction, who gives instruction, but also the one who can listen to instruction. Yeah, so walaupun seorang leader tu ia bukan satu tanggungjawabnya masa tu, tapi kalau sudahnya ia ada rasa orang dirinya sendiri ada rasa macam okay, since contoh this person is new and then ia belum exposed to volunteering or anything lah, so he will guide him. So that's a part of leadership. And then also communication skills. For me, macam kan cakap sama menteri ke, for me itu saja.
Cuba bagi example. Aku cakap example tu.
Example
Aku pun boleh.
example of menteri.
Cuba.
Mana? Example.
Ya macam ni cuba.
So macam bukan satu beban lah. Macam contoh, kita cakap sama menteri atau orang ni macam for me it's such an honor lah. Macam if for example someone told me to represent something or any NGO and then to talk with this guest of honor ke, this menteri ke, for me satu apa namanya?
Okay, I think I can stop you from there lah. I think you're just gonna apa namanya?
But itulah to end I also learn some skills like MC, moderating, and also how to actually give motivation and also on how to look after if someone ni macam mana lah. Since I have this psychological first aid, so we have this 3L, which is we look, and then we listen, and we link.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You just reply that you look at him,
Yeah.
you assess, and then
Ngam tu.
the rest. Thank you so much, Adib. And then, like, because I have backgrounds in both sports and volunteering, I do understand where you're coming from and what type of development skills that you actually have because it does apply from your day-to-day life and also professional life. All right, moving on to our very own Sophie. Just mentioned that you're an Asian illustrator. So I was reading your bio, and then you were talking about your childhood struggles with reading, and then later on that inspires you to create your art, your ideas. So can you share what is that turning point? Because I'm sure growing up with it's learning hard to like it's hard for you to also try to relate to others. How does it feel? And then what was your turning point during that time?
Ooh. So I guess I have to start from the beginning. So when I was growing up, it was quite a struggle. Had a lot around. My education wasn't exactly stable. If you can believe it, I actually didn't know how to spell. I also didn't know my name. I know my name was Sophie Sarah, but it was like weird. It wasn't really something that was me. Only later, when I finally stabilized, and I'm so thankful for who are educators, taught me struggles. They sat me by their bedside every night reading these long novels. And if I got one word wrong, like, it would say, go back to the beginning. I was like, why you have to like do this to me? But eventually, it got me to the point where I was able to read. I was able to understand and write. And later on, that really emphasized to me importance of books, storytelling, and it was only because when I was young that I was like, we want to know what this character is doing in this book. Are they looking like this? Or why is this dinosaur, this alien thing looking the way it is? Right? Or what does this word say about it? That I began to ask more questions, ask my family, what does this word mean? How can I say this? Right? And that's what got me to wanting to go to books. I want to tell stories. I want to have people read this book, say Brunei, these children's books like the Anak or the I want them to see this. I want to know this. I want to be curious about it and fun with learning. Really to read. That's what it should be.
Thank you so much. Okay, I am a well, I can't say book talk because that means differently. I'm a person that reads book as well, and it does give a creative liquid to your own mind and creating that idea and whatnot. And actually, today Sophie's auntie is actually here. Can I ask, Auntie, Banana India too, like you've been reading her books since she was little, or she was a person that was, you have to force the reading or you have to explain it over and over and tell me if you're okay talking. Thank you. Now, education was the education she was at then she moved to ISP. Then took her a while to read properly. She was quite time for some reason that because it's quite personal. Parents broke up and was no police motivation there. I think. But once you move around to the school and then just with the help of teachers, of course, good teachers, family, the aunties, of course, she has 5 aunties and they are all educators and and of course we are concerned that she couldn't, for age, she was falling behind. So we intervened, and then after that, she was successful in, with flying colors. We are so proud of her that she managed to, to overcome her difficulties and all. For who she is now, we are also very proud that where she, she goes into dreamlike illustration. Taxikin, any stories, you know. So proud of us about it. Oh, thank you so much, Auntie Noraiman. Oh, that's so sweet of her to say it. Like, oh, recording if you want to. Okay, coming back to Awang Putra. Yeah, it was so horrible. Awang Putra. Okay. We were talking about watches just now, like
Yes.
classical vintage, smart watches. I was looking at your Instagram.
Oh, you were? Are you thinking of buying a watch?
If it's free, mana saja.
No. no.
I'm like, whoever is like his
What's
school,
the
if it's
$1,000?
free. I'm like, my hands are empty, so I'm like, wanna tao. So there's this saying that every watch tells a story, right?
Yes, without a doubt.
Okay, what was your most meaningful watch that you worked on?
It's a good question.
Okay, every watch has a story. What was the most meaningful watch that you ever worked on?
Quite a lot because we've built about hundreds of them, thousands watches.
Sweet,
19 and I.
is the teen here?
No.
Oh, hala. I was gonna let them stand up. Okay, continue on.
But personally, from what I believe is the most valuable. It's quite difficult. Actually. There's a lot.
Okay, let's say this year lah.
I did.
This year alone. Let's say this year. Let's just try to make it smaller for you.
Okay, it will be without a doubt. It will be a collaboration between company with EPMM. It was a big collaboration with them. We managed to made a few limited edition timepieces commissioned at His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince. And honestly, it was a big step, and especially perspective. And Alhamdulillah, it's definitely a journey. It's been a journey because I think this business itself hasn't been easy. A lot of ups and downs, especially if you're just starting. You know, within the first few months, I would never expect that after a few years' time, I'd already be dealing with and royalties. So honestly, alhamdulillah. And without that, it did strike something in me. It was like an achievement of mine. Felt satisfied, felt happy. It was tears of joy. Without doubt.
Literal or figuratively?
Both.
Oh, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, and alhamdulillah, like by far this year, that's the most valuable piece out of all.
You mentioned this up and down situation when you create a watch, or like specifically is the BPMM watch. Can you share about what are those up and downs?
If, first of all, it's not entirely easy to build these watches. You'd require skills, you'd require experience. And for me, it was honestly self-taught. I actually also took 1 to 2 classes when I was still studying in Japan in terms of watchmaking. And at the same time, building these watches, you're dealing with tiny, tiny objects. So they're very, very fragile. And one watch takes about 4 to 6 hours, including testing and tests, quality control checks. And once the parts are damaged, especially if you're not entirely experienced, you'd have to order new parts if you don't have a extra parts. So you'd require more waiting time, and you see it would lead to delays for the clients, and that wouldn't be entirely good for the company as well as for the client because we strive to achieve the best of services for all our clients. And it's not just in terms of the watch business. I do have other few businesses under my belt, and honestly, there's been a lot of challenges, but alhamdulillah, we've managed to pull through.
All right, thank you so much. It's so nice that you say, oh, you're building watches, but it takes time to make these watches. So I'm like trying to think if you're trying to be funny with me or not. But it's the way you say it is that these watches are precise, that these
Yes.
watches needs precision and discipline from yourself and also from your steady hands.
Yes, correct.
It's not like Lego, right?
No, because
Why?
each watch is different and each design is different. It depends. It caters to the client's preferences. It's that you want hijau, you want pink. It really depends on them. And in building these watches, each one of them are very unique. So there's different styles in assembling them, and you need a lot of skills and experience just to build these watches.
Okay, thank you so much. And then you did mention Japan. Did you take an apprenticeship there, or you were working under a master in Japan?
I was just studying there for about a semester.
Oh, so Tarasa, you were learning about these watches in Japan as
Yes,
well.
yes, correct.
Oh, that is so nice. Because I really thought it was an apprenticeship, but it was unique that you are still bringing that experience back to like going towards Japan and coming back. Well, that is like us.
Macam ano, you know?
Macam
Because I saw there was
holiday
a, there
jua,
was a
business jua.
there was a workshop there, so I took the opportunity to. So
Thank you so much, Putra. Just remember that even though it's a crafts and some human has that ego, it's like, oh, I can do that. But in actual fact, there's so many layers to so many skills. If I asked you to create create a metalwork sword, can you do that on the spot? No. So it's the same with your craft. It's quite unique, as we say, it's quite niche. But at the same time, people can learn if you know the skills, if you know the people. Thank you so much, Pudra. Coming to Marhanif. So as an athlete and then as a person that has represented Brunei, you know that as I mentioned, you need discipline and you need consistent training. You need to consistent, trying to make sure that you have feedback from every coaches. Can you tell me about those struggles with consistency? Like, have you ever had a moment where I'm not enough, imposter syndrome, for example, or you feel as though there are things that you need to work on upon yourself? So, what type of discipline needs are to you on and off court?
So, yang part of I'm not enough just now, kan mesti ada. Lagi-lagi kalau you match with Malaysian, and you kalah, like you mesti fikir balik, macam mana boleh kan? Kurang, so cari lah. Brunei dan training. Then mesti consistency. It's a bit hard actually because sa sekolah balance my time. Buat kerja sekolah juga, exams dan training, then gym training, banyak lah. All of that need to balance juga. Then yeah, it's on your time management actually. So discipline, yes. Badminton, I think not just badminton, all sports is discipline. Lagi-lagi keluar with it's the downs think if like competing, keep on losing, like kadang rasa down. Tapi yeah, then still like macam kadang rasakan berhenti. Fikir balik why join this sport. Fikir balik ke belakang. Kalau kan stop pun sudah. For me, insyaAllah lah. Slot 4. Yeah. InsyaAllah juga. Doakanlah insyaAllah.
Amen. Okay, throughout your sharing session, I have two questions I'm thinking about.
Alright.
You know, like in all athletes, we always talk about the winnings that you always have. That's where we feel as though all people are going to support you. But this is a sensitive question, and let me know if it's going to be hard on you or not. And then the times where you lost, and the times where you didn't get the medal or any type of medal, was there any specific support that you actually have after the games? And then also another question that I'm looking at is, tell me your day to day. What is your usual day to day? We're talking about your schedule and balancing your own schedule as well.
So answer the first question first. Zing, course the coach peranan penting. How to Zing. So after So just lah yang bagi semangat. Also, for me, it's really because if coaches in the support,
Sip lah nasib dia macam, kalah lagi ah.
aku kadang ada
Macam,
macam
okay, whoever wants to be an athlete, just reflect. But of course, like your family's always going to be there, your coach is always going to be there because at the same time they have been to that position as well. I was talking about your day to day as well because you told me about work, you told me about like training and also for your own, mental well being. Tell me about your day to day, your usual day to day, 7 a.m. until.
so like this national athlete pun like if you know in Brunei pun sport.
Dah pula aku tahu.
It's okay. I'm
Just imagine they don't know
Sorry.
anything.
So I'm telling you now lah. So like most of like Brunei punya athlete like there's not full timer lah. Like part timer. It's just what do you call it? Isi masa lapang saja. But then representing country. So basically dorang pun macam the normal person je. Raja pagi. Depends lah. For me, yeah. From 7 till malam tu. 7, I balik at 3, 3:30 pulang 4 macam tu lah. After that, I running first. Dan malam baru training on court. Ada schedule-nya lah.
What time you usually end your day? Usually.
Depends lah, kadang pukul 10 malam, kadang.
So that's your very day-to-day life.
Yes.
Every day is going to be like that, in and out, in and out. Oh, that's quite tiring. But at the same time, it's quite inspiring because that you put yourself in that position, you put yourself, your effort, and also inshallah, you'll go to that Olympian 2020, 2030?
2028.
2028. Oh, soon to.
Las Vegas, inshallah.
Oh,
Because-
like everyone monitor his progress. At least everyone takes accountability. Yang mereka kadang kena ampas sekarang lagi oleh coach.
I start late juga, like around 15 years old. I mean, so like banyak need to catch up lagi. That's why I need to train harder. Because other countries like China, as you know, orang punya development, orang training itu like around 5 years old break. So the training. Even now pun, in my international tournament, most of them 16, 17, they joined that. So 16, 17 ako. So banyak lagi lah di. That's why I end my day like 10 malam. Catch up all this.
Definitely, because like it's your own experience and you put those efforts in that. It's not comparing about ageism, but it's more towards what ability you have for your age, for their age at the same time. Thank you so much, Marhanif.
Oh,
Then
okay.
coming back, or Saki, apa senyum-senyum mata? Just asking questions. Okay. Okay. So you have, well, technically I have read their bios before I met them. Mind you, this is the first time I met majority of them. So it's nice that I only know based on their bios, so I'm asking questions that I don't know. And so how has being active in religious organizations shaped your leadership? Because you've been talking about the leadership since intro. So shaping and leadership, just minus the talking to prime minister, talking other, but in your personal sense, talking to leadership as a person in your own company, leadership the sense of talking to, for example, how does it shape?
Bismillah. Okay, so leadership dia bukan satu yang senang lah sebenarnya. Yes, we need to have trust and also apa ni, communication lah between leader and also the follower. Being a leader is not just about giving instruction, but someone who can inspire others also. And then someone who can not only give instruction, but also do what the leader if dia adalah instruction lah. Macam contoh, dia bukan saja seorang yang membagi instruction kan, tapi dia juga yang sama menolong lah, sama-sama accomplish the mission for them as a team. So a leader, dia bukan seorang bos. And then for me, since I have joined Tujukan from different NGOs, religious NGOs such as Vil-laju and also Beliau Mualaf Asyhadah, as I can see, different NGOs will have different style of leadership. And then, macam contoh from Vil-laju itself, orang punya leadership is more onto Islamic leadership lah. Not only focusing on duniawi but also ukhrawi. Contoh, contoh lah macam
Apa lihat jam tu?
contoh
Apa
saja.
ada?
Ya,
Orang jamnya separuh kamu sana. Sekejap.
dapat balik kan? Ya. Ya, macam contoh lah. Ya lihat jamnya, kan asal dah macam ya kan tangguhkan dulu meeting and then we focus on apa sembahyang asar dulu and then
Taruhkan
we go
meeting
after.
sama Allah after that. Terus.
Macam banyak macam lah. And then also macam kalau contoh dalam leadership in maybe dia masjid, kan we have different ages, different backgrounds. So untuk kumpulkan dorang untuk dalam satu kepala tu takes time lah. Macam for me personally, I will agak dulu seorang-seorang. So I will have a small talk. Macam contoh, how are you? How's your day? Because from that small talk, especially lelaki lah, paling senang tu. First day jumpa, dari mata dulu. Second day jumpa, what's up? Ngam kan?
Jujur kata.
Tak ada cakap sebab tu jumpa.
Sebab tu dah kali. Yeah, it depends on the person lah.
Ngam je. Macam contoh,
Ni awal.
yeah.
It's okay.
But day by day, maybe akan jadi someone comfort untuk bercakap lah macam tu. Lelaki ni, especially mental health, sangat penting lah. Ngam je lelaki.
I think I want to add on towards that. Instead of like talking about if it's like a male or female, I want to talk about like the different types of group that you would talk about. Because in volunteerism, you need to handle people from different backgrounds and different ages, especially from the government side, the private side, and also people who are older and younger. What sort of challenges that have you seen yourself working with the government, private, and then also older and younger?
Okay, kalau for that, macam kalau contoh government, istilah the formality, macam the persuratan, dia punya kertas kerja and so on lah. Kalau macam contoh, focusing on talking with orang yang lebih berumur, so we'll have to first listen to their opinion dulu. Pasal diorang ni mau kena dengari, dan buatlah kita ni cakaplah sedikit sebanyak apa yang they should listen, so that we can have a good conversation within us lah. And then kalau contoh between private companies, they will also have different SOPs for us to follow. Macam contoh, we have to set this time for meeting dulu, and then we have to prepare the kertas kerja and so on lah. So different sector will have different challenges. Macam contoh, banyak macam contohnya deh. So kalau government lah, dia mesti
Kenapa macam contoh? Semua yang the real facts. Don't give me fiction.
Okay. So kalau government mesti awal lah pokoknya dia boleh few weeks before, kalau boleh dah 2 months before the event, 3 months, because they have to lock the date especially if we request for case of order, macam contoh HUT ke atas, so they have to block their date and then they have to kosongkan for meeting lagi and so on. So that's why kalau government mesti tani awal 3 langkah. Yang mantap aja. Tapi
Diorang lain. Diorang 2 langkah. Kau 3 langkah yang diorang gerak.
Lain
Kalau diorang 2 langkah, aku 9 langkah lah dah.
Pada dah tu. Alright, but thank you so much for sharing, because I think majority of the people has worked with the government, has worked with the private, and know how difficult it is. I think before I start with you, Sophie, I just want to check in with the crowd because we've been in this talk for how many questions now, and I just want to check in. I love to do this because it's quite weird, and then I have did it during dry run. You guys know the TikTok trend Ruby Chan? Like Ruby Chan, hi, Nani Gaski. So when I say Ruby Chan, you just try to continue on. Do you guys know the script? Okay, Inda. Why you don't? What era, what rock are you living in? Huh? Okay. Let's just do it so that I know your energy level. Ruby Chan, Nani Gaski, Tukomi. Okay, one more time. Ruby Chan, Nani Gaski, Tukomi. I know. But thank you so much for kunayan ako. But then it's not in the script, but I was like thinking, oh, I should do that. But thank you so much for Malayan. But coming back to our conversation and a very own Sophie. Okay. Sophie, I was reading your bio and you have a word heritage, right? And I've even looked at your socials as well, and you intertwine that story of your illustration with your heritage. Let's talk through that. First, what is your meaningful story that you've written that is in terms of your heritage? And also, so you weave those identities together. But talk to me about the process on how you create this type of illustration that brings the story to us.
Do you mean stories from clients to life?
No, for your own for your own personal work. Because whenever we tell stories, we need to find an angle. Is it from, as you always mention, I love that. Yes, I'm hungry as well, so it's okay. But at the same time, when I was looking through your Instagram, you were creating this what do you call it, animation picture of your own clothing and what, because those are your identity. Walk with me. How do you actually create that process? How do you introduce your culture towards your illustration?
So there's a lot of ways I fit variety of people. So not just my own interpretation, I also work with just general locals or even outside with some with Bella Literacy Association, also known as Seed Publishing, to work to some of the embassies in Brunei. So I work with Korea, Turkey, Korea, and also worked with some Oman. So all the cultural stories, I was like for them. Haven't done specific book yet, or I've only done research by myself, just getting to learning more about from my hair. So that's why I do all these illustrations. Research is very important to me. Just go around. I try to like love Brunei more, if that's even possible. I'm trying to like find the gems and trying to share more with locals as well. Surprisingly, some also don't know about Brunei. To like maybe their everyday cafes, for example. Just trying to share all through my illustrations.
Thank you so much. Because as you all know, Murat is also part of the ethnic groups in Brunei. Tell me personally, why is it important for you to discover yourself from your own heritage point of view? And then also, why is it important to share it with others?
I think it's really these for the I think it's important to explore dive in their stories, even local stories like John to and little. They should be shared with locals. They represent. I think what's really fun, exciting about these stories show the mentality and heart of Brunei. So, like for example, Jong Batu was all of just an example, not specifically on the Batu was how his son disregarded his. I think this is a very special thing. Into like Malaysia, Singapore. I loves that. So tight knit.
Yes.
Our friends, our family. we go to each other's house, even like you can say when we go to like, they're like they accept you, one kind of kin. So to disregard selves. So like for example, it's like a story how like no one wanted to help this poor girl who was trying to except for this one. He dragged her to his nest and said, "My wife, I will pick you up," right? She's like, "Get it out." So she says some special words to the wife. Soon enough, she was able to give you. She helped this couple. So it shows from the if it's risky or help one will help you if you. And in turn, this crocodile any of so it shows how in through things with one that we're able to each other. Say in if someone wants to help someone who's in need, right? Later on, that blessing will come. Friends, the people in our lives, they become us. They become us. And I believe it's a special. It's a unique thing about all these stories. It should be. They show this is how I think. This is our. They should be. We should explore, share more. Because all these stories, there's only a few known, and why not share more? As we should. It should be like a proud thing. Like, yes, we are such a loving. This is the unique thing. Don't go like yes, Malaysia has all these qualities. You know what? We're small, we're rich. We have just as much. It's like golden gems. We just need to show it.
Great, thank you so much. I agree with what she said. Brunei, our own specialty is because like we're a small country, we're 500,000 population. It's not boring because we have the value of community, we have the value sense of family. Because that's what I would always say whenever people visit. Our specialty is always community, and I do agree with about storytelling. So, what's the point of storytelling? Is to preserve that idea, is to preserve the story of our ancestors at the same time. But people always forget that every story has a lesson behind it. It's like when you talk about what was the one the Jong Batu? The Jong Batu, there is a lesson behind it. Jangan diharapkan with our parents or like don't forget yourself. And it's neat, and it was the first time for me to actually listen when you say about it's a story about the lady kind of dragged by the crocodile, and I wish that it was on a book.
So there's actually so story said, and unfortunately, because our whole generation are going, some of them speak a certain phrases. Why not we share these with? There's only a few I know. She do share these stories, but so much more, and I think so much in love if we just post them, share them. Your random grandma was like, "Oh, the sky was once this because of this." Share it. That's a good thing. That's a part of this part. Not sure how silly.
Yeah, that's part of Brunei identity as well. Okay, we have 35 minutes left. I see you. I see you, woman. Okay, I love the fact that you are touching back to basic about Brunei and then about the storytelling, because we do have people who are younger than us. We do have kids that are curious in our own story. Thank you so much for sharing that, Sophie. And let's come back to the discussion about Brunei and about what was Putra. This is gonna be a difficult question for you, so get ready. My question for you about because we're talking about Brunei, and let's just relate this to your own classwork and then your own work as well. How does your work align with Wawasan Brunei 2030? It's such a question.
That's a really good one.
I know, and then so it's part of innovation and entrepreneurship. So, how talk to me about how does it relate to Thrive?
Personally, from what I believe, Brunei also in 2035, we target the youth, especially. We focus on the achievements of the youth, success of the youth. So I do feel like when it comes to my trip, as well as my skills, I strive to achieve giving them inspiration.
What is your vision?
Yeah, I need more players. So I
So pada kawan-kawannya that likes sport, please get his number. What's your number? Let me just share. I'm kidding. That's too personal. But I understand why you're coming from. We're in a country where we have small population, it means that we have a smaller pool of people that are interested in athletics. But thank you so much for sharing. But not only that, I think I want a follow-up question. To making small question. So badminton, and also you have your own coaches. Give me the steps on how people, day-to-day people can sign up in being part of the athlete than badminton or any other type of athlete background? How do I sign up?
Think first you need to socialize yourself to main badminton. So like main social first, then if you get that interest, then you approach one of the coaches lah. Because Brunei banyak coaches already yang buka coaching academy. So yeah,
Is it like I like check Instagram coaching academy?
you can check like if you search badminton coach in TikTok pun banyak orang like hashtag.
Oh, that's a hidden TikTok trend in Brunei.
Kalau I think banyak coaches juga di like ada Tutong pun ada dan Brunei pun because as you know pun Brunei now banyak court already badminton court like in Tanah Jambu dan di Salar Industry pun ada juga so it's easy now tapi satu private lah but then why we need ramai athlete lagi for the next generations is because now like kalau belayar pun lawan internationals it's only like wakil badminton only 2 kadang 3 because belum banyak lagi pelapis for Brunei lah so kalau kamu compare with other country like Malaysia, Malaysia, Indonesia, orang hantar like contingent ada 10 players, 11, kadang 20 players for that tournament. So orang punya players itu banyak, so like orang boleh practice. But then kalau macam 3 tu, it's limited time. Because practice time pun kena bagi sikit saja. So like you cannot macam test court itu kan. You need to test the court before you play. So kalau 3 orang saja kena bagi, masanya sekejap saja. So why we need that? That's why lah. Because kalau ramai orang pun, that's good. Because the time itu panjang. Like I said. Yeah.
So you're just saying that these type of sport is accessible for everyone. You can sign up because part of it is like you can reach out to social media, you can reach out to every different platforms, but at the same time there is a warning label for those who signed up because contingency for batches that are sent out is quite small because it's quite usual and regular because it's like any other country depending on the population because we're a small population. Of course, there's only who are sent out, but it doesn't mean there's this quote like I know it's small, but it doesn't mean it's a zero. So at least people are still coming out. Thank you so much for sharing, Marhanif. Also, I think I need to come back towards that badminton and social media. So it's something new, is it? It's been going on for a long time. I haven't heard about coaches being picked up for social media. Oh, and then also promoters lah for the other people. Oh, live stream 1. I don't know where's the 3. Empat. There's the promo.
I think social media promoting is now banyak sudah. Tapi I think itu baru-baru tu. Like TikTok, Instagram. Because now our badminton associations in Brunei, orang ada buka like coaching courses. So like untuk banyakkan lagi coaches to train all the youth lah. All the belia like 6 years old, 7 years old. So 5 years ke depan ni. InsyaAllah.
Thank you so much, Marhanif. All right, question for Adit. If you guys don't know about Brunei, this month is August, right? So August is actually National Youth Day in Brunei. So we celebrate all the youth that has been working so hard towards the country about recognition. Can you share in the class? Kim, what was your sharing? Share to the class.
I played badminton before. It's fun.
Oh, okay. Siapa yang mau ikut karangan? After they have time during lunchtime. Tadi football, now badminton. Aku tahu lah apa yang next lah. So part of that, coming back, part of that national, what type of vision do you have for the people who are younger? What is their goal and their vision to strive to part of what was in 2035?
Okay, so since August is the month of National Youth Day, right?
Yes, tadi aku cakap tadi.
But it's also my birth month.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Napulang ko ito, more mo to. Share with the classroom.
Actually, 2 more days in Tuesday lah.
Happy birthday to Ate. Happy
Okay.
birthday to you. Happy advance birthday.
Thank you guys. Yeah, so moving on to the question kan.
Amali. Ikaw, how old are you gonna be?
Coming 22 years old.
Wow. Not bad. Alright, continue on.
Okay, so I would like to have the youth to be better from us lah. Because we are now focused. From me lah, personally lah. Senior for
Pero sudah 22 tahun, ha?
Okay, so because today's generation can also focusing more onto digital. So this the next generation too, they must have these skills that we don't have.
Macam? Macam?
Macam
Tadi you cakap communicate, mana you cakap? Tadi you cakap leadership, we can. Gitu.
No,
something.
what's making the
Oh, mana itu? Mana judis kita?
yeah, very niche.
Very niche. Badminton ada sudah. Apa lagi? Illustrator ada sini. Apa lagi?
Bisa kan tim. Tapi itulah something that Brunei boleh bagi ada. That they can initiate, they can create, especially on the industrial side. Macam contoh on the IT side, focusing more onto AI and so on. So the next youth ini, they must start now lah, especially on the volunteering side, because if they don't start now, bila dah lagi ya macam lah. macam tu lah dia. Jadi kalau
Aku rasa nyanyi balik-balik. Apa? Macam it's so oversaturated.
Pasti contoh kali lagi.
Maybe you
Penting
need to
betul.
move your seat kali ya, more time. Your brain works a bit.
Tapi penting betul.
Tahu ko penting. Tapi balik-balik.
Supaya dia orang macam kalau ada volunteeringnya pak aku
Okay, guys, we appreciate whatever he gives. Kami terima saja seadanya.
Tapi itulah for the next generation, the next youth, since kami ni semakin berumur dah, kamu tu pun
Please, diri ang umur 25. Tahu ka ang umur bilihan ni sing-singan mana? Kita ko.
25.
See that now? Please,
Jauh belum masa tapi
Naik balik aku happy birthday.
tapi itulah hopefully the next generation ni
Next generation is you.
no, I mean the youth ba, the youth.
That's pulling your leg. It's fun.
Moderator niya ni
I know, it's so fun.
Hindi ba?
Defensive terus.
Hindi ba? Kasi ba, we are the next generation, jo.
Lang. That's the whole point of
The
this.
next
He kept saying, like, once we're getting older, I'm like, man, baru tahu dunia ba? I'm like, auntie, auntie, Atu, do you have any advice for the next generation? Baru dah. Luruskan tu kita. Okay, coming. Kata-kata akhir. Coming back to the conversation.
Tadi ia yang bertanya kan?
Sama, pakau bagi tu.
Tapi adalah to conclude, they must start now, and by doing so, they can develop their skills, their experience, and also their leadership skills.
Okay, thank you so much, young man. Okay, question for Q. I'm not gonna like him because I know your script is like newish. So I know that part of Wawasan 2035 is talking about skill youth, and you are part of the skill youth because I saw that you're working with companies that are not in Brunei, and you are striving forward with industries that people don't reach out to. Can you tell me about how do I come into your industry? How do I sign up for it? And where do I start?
For illustration specifically.
Yes.
So I think you can start.
Dengar ni. Dengar ni apa? Dengar. Continue.
Sorry. I think you can start anytime into the industry. You can start even right now.
Okay, sama macam ni lah.
If you want.
Start now. Meron kang jual pun, start now.
If not now, when?
Oh, sejak kita. Learn to draw. Lupa ko, he said that draw. Okay, start now. Continue.
So you can start anytime. I think it's great if you have like, or especially who is specifically industry. I see a lot of people who are wanting to drive in anime kind of stuff, which is not a bad thing. A lot of people do a lot of fan work to get industry just alley. But if you want to do, say, more editorial work, like doing article imagery, next illustrations for outside globally, then you have to expand yourself and expand your skill range. Draw fan work of Pikachu or Genshin Impact. There, I say, love in deep space. You know,
I know.
the ladies out there.
Only the ladies know this.
So you gotta expand yourself and try new things. And I mean, at the end of the day, skills is what matters as a creative in any field, and your portfolio matters. So it doesn't necessarily matter how much you've been in the industry; it's how skillful you show. There's no way no client will have you. You don't have the paperwork to show I can do this. I can do this for you successfully. To worry. That's the biggest issue. Like a youth or like a new creative. So it's just all about doing this kind of work, do this kind of stuff.
Can you share also your social media platform? Because I did check out that a lot of your arts are there.
Yeah.
Is it okay if you share it with the audience?
I think it's Sophie. Sophie. Type down Sophie Kiho, Kiho, and I'm sure I'll like.
Great, that was really nice. Let's come into a very hard question. It's a serious question at the same time. Unemployment. Okay, just turn like their heads just turn because I know that you're working in an industry where it's hard to part of that wall where you break it, the media, the arts, and also the marketing, for example. How did you manage to afford and own a company that is outside of Brunei? Because you know a lot of the usual part of conversation is government is the key part of life, but that's not everyone's dream. Tell me about your dream and how did you start getting a company in Singapore?
I immediately got. I even finished uni. Start to do as I knew. So man, tough it was. It's really tough to get in and start soon to succeed. So what I did is to anywhere the outside. I was not picking. I some limitation. It's because there's some companies that do the work that you do just yet. They just recently have started growing. So that's why I decided to, for example, Singapore, where creative industries do of editorial and so on. So I just did whatever experience. So now I'm working Simple Sun, which also have Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and Singapore. I do with them as I work with finance topics. When I first started, I knew nothing about finance. I worked through, and eventually I do them. So I do conversations, so on investments, turn them into school conference, and
I love that. Sophie is one of those industries where it's quite rare because one is remote working. You can work anywhere, but at the same time, she can. Do you go back and forth from Singapore?
I had done maintain.
Thank you so much, Louis. All right. We have around 15 minutes. Yes, ma'am. Yes. So we have around 15 minutes. So let's just do a wrap up question to everyone. Senyum saja. So we would always say about you, would always say about Mawasab, you would always say about what is the best for our country and yourself. Alam lagi. So the question is, it's very general, but I really want you to dive deep in how do you actually give this answer. So what, okay, start with Putra. It's a pattern. So if you could give one piece of advice, but to me, one piece of watch lah. One piece of advice to young Bruneians. So one piece of advice to young Bruneians aspiring to be, what would it be?
Start now.
Please.
But generally, be change maker, especially in today's society. I'll be speaking based on my age doesn't matter. Just do something you want. Find a model, learn the market, do your research, and if you choose to pursue trip, make sure you have the discipline and the commitment itself. Don't give up easily and have faith in all.
Thank you so much. Follow up from that. I asked Marhanif about his day to day. Can you tell me about your day to day? How does it start? Because you are balancing both school and business.
I'll be talking based on the current day to day. Since I'm in my final year, so honestly, it hasn't been easy to between this and plus schoolwork, but I feel like it's very much doable for everyone if you have a great understanding how to. So you do think in terms of which one, which deadlines I do. So see, for me, I do things based on priority. I try to do deadlines. Doesn't matter whether it's my schoolwork, business work, as long as the spend.
Thank you so much. Bukan bilang day to day tu, but
Oh, the day to day loop. Oh, so
oh,
so me, I wake up early weekend, and at the same time, I usually I skip. Usually, I would hit the gym around, 8, but also like run. I feel like no matter how busy you get, it's best that you have your own. So I do. Everyone needs it. No matter how busy ka, or the busy ka, you just have to have a time for yourself as well.
what's your emoji again? Not this. I just want to pass this. Let's go to Mohammed. Okay, same question. What one piece of advice would you to aspire? Dan ikut ya. Jangan cakap start sekarang. Jangan cakap kalau bukan awalan ni bilang.
I think that Brunei youth now continue to believe in themselves.
Macam yang menunggu my reaction.
So they need to believe in themselves. Like that's the Putra cakap tadi, start now. That's the common words lah. Yes.
Lagi.
Trust the progress and be patient.
I think I feel like you're just giving a lot of brand punya just with quote lah. If it's tahu cook, you're athlete. Oh, sponsor. Cuba. Sponsor, please.
Be patient, trust the process. Like things ambil masa, so just sabar, and one day inshallah we're gonna make it. Just sabar and usaha lah, consistency. Yes.
Thank you so much. Oh, drop it up. Because after this, I'm just gonna go tour you while you say welcome. Okay, ada same question, what type of advice, minus all the things that you said but before. I need to put that as a disclaimer. Something new. If you want, you can set the back kalau kamu mau jawab.
Oh, just sini saja. So one piece of advice.
Look at the phone. Yeah.
No. Dah. Don't be afraid of failure. And then,
Like, I know you're gonna be like 1 year wiser in 2 weeks' time.
yeah. Benar ke? Kadang aku lupa tu.
Or 2024 ya. Continue, continue.
Apa? It takes time lah. And then there are process.
Hey, this is live stream. So any advice that you're gonna give to the youth, you're not gonna go out dengan diri sendiri. Yes, macam ni.
Bro, cuma bisa-bisa.
Come on.
Jangan tu abang kemahi you tu. In all seriousness, wait, I think I can pressure him. We are live stream now. How many views are we seeing that right now? 8 views? Oh, it's okay. Don't you pressure Manar. But it's okay. Like, so people in this room are holding on to your words. What type of advice or one piece of inspiring things that you could share with them
Okay.
after years of volunteering, after COVID-19, being 1 year wiser in 2 days' time?
Okay. Don't be afraid. Take up.
I like this man.
Take up the challenges. Because we don't know. One day we will reflect back. Oh, so these challenges brought me to me this day.
I think it's the same quote as do it scared. Kan? So every time you volunteer, you just go scared.
Tapi ada this one quote from Cikgu Ali Sudi katanya.
Okay lah, okay. Go baru kamu. Go baru kamu. Jangan. Apa ya?
Katanya don't work hard. Dah. Don't work hard. Sekejap. Jangan tidur. Nya Cikgu Ali Sudi nya don't work hard. You crazy. Work crazy. Faham?
Patut jawapan mu crazy sikit. I get it now. I get it. Okay.
Yang penting be yourself lah.
Tapi do it free. Don't be yourself. Are you trying to make me like, oh, this is Sunday.
Dah.
This is morning.
Yeah, I think that's all.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna accept that, and then everyone's very entertained by your very inspiring answer.
Attracted to expand. Just limit yourself to be go outside. And work remote is totally possible. Just reach out. Eventually you'll get something.
See, yeah, you took grab something.
Yes.
But like, continue with their conversation. You just mentioned AI because the Sultan has put into his speech so many times in regards to advancements to AI. But at the same time, there is a second pillar towards it where AI does take jobs. How would you work? You actually combine yourself with AI and also with employee. Is there any way to help advancement for yourself or a tool that steals idea? What is your own personal viewpoint on that?
I think it's what we understand. AI, as smart as you think. It takes from people AI is you're not creating something new, making someone else's work. And at the end of the day, this is if you something that's AI, this is someone made it, like person made most, because AI just copies and pastes from a. So I think as a creative, there's many industries that only support creatives and only allow creatives AI support. Myself don't use AI. I'm purely, if I'm going to struggle writing a book, I'm going to struggle to find because at the end of the day, that's what makes us human. That's what makes work authentic. But people then scramble.
Thank you so much. That is more of a viewpoint of an art person and our local artists. Well, technically, like the art, there's a lot. Thank you so much for sharing. Okay, we do have less than 5 minutes to share, and then let's just do a rapid fire. It's quite trying to find your own perspective. Okay, Putra, as a person, okay, this is a question. As a person that is doing entrepreneurship and balancing schoolwork, how does youth or the public or your family can show support for your own passions?
Honestly, just by being there, it's more than enough. Let's see for me.
Wow, this is the first time they're so short for you, but it's so sweet. So whoever is watching, honestly, yeah, support is always needed in any way. Alright,
Question sama
something gonna happen after this. Okay. Instead of family support, because you're an athlete, right? What type of stakeholder support, whether it's from a government perspective, private company or NGO, support you as an athlete?
What again?
Okay, because like for him, it's a family's perspective support, but you as an athlete, there are so many ways to support you. Maybe giving you a mental health boost, or maybe from a government perspective on your own programming. So private government also NGO, how they can support you.
I think for the government, I think they can like prepare for my personally lah, for me, they can prepare for the crew or the athlete. So like our own physio or
Physio, whoever is over there, physio. Why is it important to you?
Because if you play like you in a match, physio is kadang memainkan peranan penting juga. Because if you match you all out, after that kadang ada yang sakit, injured. So like after game ada physio, so you don't think much on the game lah. But then if not the physio, you punya game pun indah all out. Like aku sakit lah, aku injured. Because after game dah ada physio. But then I think support on that would be much help lah. And ya kalau boleh, kalau ada tambah lagi lah.
You laugh now, but the boy needs money. But it's very important because it's your day to day. It helps you support. As you say, the more your body progresses health wise, the more you can progress towards that level.
True.
So it's very valid. Same question. How society can support you? Maybe a new script, huh?
So before society, I want to thank my parents lah, because kalau bukan diorang, I won't be volunteering until now. So without their support, their commitment, antara dulu before I drive. So itulah, it's such an honor lah to have them, especially my family juga. Ada my brother juga. My brother.
Nyaman today ketawa. I think he laughed more.
And then thank you also to thank you though. Itulah the support from the community, especially the higher ups, and also bukan saja the higher ups, we need also support from the youth for us to majukan Brunei as a team, as a nation, together.
Thank you so much, Adam. Oh, I'm just controlling myself at this point, but going towards Sophie. So you work with the art scene,
Yes.
and then what type of support would you expect from the community or your own family or maybe your own personal well-being? What type of support that you are expecting from them?
I am very blessed actually to have such a great family support, friends that helped me just emotionally along the way to support what I want. I think for any Asian family in general, going into the arts is a struggle. I myself, if I was ever a parent, would be a bit unease for my Anak to even try illustration. But I'm so grateful that my family has helped me not just to my education, but also for my arts. If I was to say for the creative industry for Brunei specifically, I think the Brunei industry has a lot bigger role to play in the future, especially for 2025. I think it will definitely help us to grow beyond oil and gas to really provide us more with natural support, the creative support, and will provide us more, especially with the help of sponsors and shareholders. So I think that moving forward, supporting creatives, even each other, and supporting each other, share stories, even doing like stuff in a cafe, whatever it may be. I think that alone really helps to like share, and improve, push us forward. We are Brunei goal.
All right. Thank you so much, Sophie. That is quite insightful. All right, we have ended our panel discussion right now. Committee, is it gonna be Q&A or there's new? Okay, so we are gonna start with the Q&A session. If you think my question is hard, apa lagi the Q&A session. So when you guys are registering for this event, we do have a Google form that you guys fill in, and there are a few questions that I'm gonna convey to the speakers. Ada. Oh, sounds like a you problem at this point. Okay. So the Q&A, let's just, cause I don't like having a panel session where like it's the same question for everyone. Let's just do it 2-2. So like one question is for both of you, and then after one question is for the both of you at the end. So at least it's the sharing, but and then also at least like isi-isi niya lain lah jawapan niya, ha?
No, hindi dapat magsa. You must be yourself.
You must start now.
If not, wait now.
Just now untuk apa sudah kami tua apa lagi mas ada?
That's for the next generation.
Banar tua. Okay, so how many minutes do we have for Q&A committee? 30? Oh, 50 minutes. My evil laugh has come out. Okay, so first question. Oh, I wish ada yang macam beep so everyone can like I mean, so it's okay. First question for both Sophie and Adib. So this is from the base on Google Docs. It's not from me. It's not a rapid fire question from me. So how do you put yourself out there and find confidence or motivation to take on new roles and opportunities?
You want to start? I think you should start.
Young man, start. Suka abang yung ginawa.
Adik ko.
Adik ka. Oh. So he's 22 and you're like 19.
So
I need the future generation lah. I need the
one of it. So yung
continue on.
ano niya, apa yung ujung ito is roles and apa?
So like how to find that confidence or motivation to take on new roles and opportunity. How do you actually make that first step?
Yes, sebenarnya benda ni kena offer ba? You mesti paksa. Teruskan.
You tanya lurus, kami pun macam soal-soal apa ni?
Terus je tu. Benda ni mesti dipaksa dulu. And then
Kami dipaksa sini lah.
maybe, I don't know. Tapi apa, especially yang tanggungjawab yang tinggi ni, usually kena paksa lah at first. But lama-kelamaan they have that apa sense of responsibility, sense of apa, they know the job scope, and then they know what to do with this apa work lah. So, lama-kelamaan niya akan jadi ikhlas. And then how do we actually counter this feeling of confidence? We just need to try and try. Keep on trying. Even though kadang ada kesalahan, macam contoh, we only achieve 1 out of 99 um, achievement, but in the end, the process itu is such a valuable lesson ba. And then dari 98 problems itu, we can know that okay, if I do this, I will get this solution. So I will have to shift lah, doing something else, and then maybe I need to collaborate more with different NGOs. I need to share this point of view with my mentor, someone who we can share our ideas, share our perspective, and also gain lah from them. Yeah, I think that's all.
Thank you so much, Adib. Okay, as a well, next info, I actually know Adib, so that's why it's easy for me to tease him. But at the same time, you say 99 problem, macam lagu Ariana Grande, macam I'm like thinking that. But thank you so much for sharing, because of course they are always, as you mentioned, 99 prize, probably one would come out, and then that's the reality of, hustle life, and that is quite relatable. Okay, let's go to Sufi. Yeah. So how do you put yourself out there? What type of confidence or motivation do you actually take so that you can take new roles or opportunities?
I mean, I'm in it, right? I think it's all about.
I agree. Just like partner with him.
No, I think it's all about make it. Just go.
I know. More such a question, Sapar. Okay.
Just fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Just try. Won't know anything. You won't know if it works until you try it out. Right? It's just give it a try. That's all I can say.
As he said, do it scared,
Yeah,
guy.
just
Do it crazy,
scared.
guy.
Yeah.
Lures. Rupanya semua yang kau cari, nagtata. Oh, lures to. So nice, mo. Okay, so going to Putra and Marhane, who is trying to discuss what's their next move. So question 2, because they just said 3-4 questions. So what keeps you going in your journey? What is the big why behind what you are doing now?
Big why. Sebab minat.
WHY, yes.
Minat.
Yes.
Sebab minat. I think the big why is the target ito lang. Like actually I
Tulian. What are you looking at?
tadi ada jawapan tu sana tulis. Adam.
Rupanya selama ni jawapan si Adib sana.
Ada. Actually I target for SEA Games this year, tapi nggak dapat. I think that's the next target lah, the Olympic. That's the big why I joined badminton.
So how do you keep on going to this journey? What pushes you? So this is part of Chibom, bukan aku yang tanya dia.
Like in order to join like Olympic or SEA Games, we need to have points. The points we gain from the international tournament. So like actually banyak the tournament, but then for your information that I go to international tournament, it's all self-funded. It's like I know it's from government, tapi it's self-funded. Then ada private sponsors. So in order to join, then kami pun ke PKBS juga untuk register. But then wajib sendiri lah. So it's a bit hard. So kadang ada some country tiketnya mahal, tempat tinggalnya. That's why allow na itu kalau boleh.
He's opening a GoFundMe today.
Yeah.
For his journey. Okay. I think I need to rephrase that what you're saying. So in every sport, because I'm a certified coach, so I know how competition works. So in any type of competition, you have to gain points. So in order for you to gain points, you have to come into smaller events or small competition so that you are recognized. So for example, if I want to do CrossFit games, for example, because I do CrossFit, is that you have to do the opens first. Once you have that the points for opens, you have to do the quarterfinals. Once you have the quarterfinal is the mid-finals. So you have to go towards those different types of lower change. That's why he mentions about everything is self-funded because the government can only sponsor the main event, not the back event. So it's the same with any other competition. So that's what he mentioned. I'm going to say that. I'm gonna say
Continue. Yours too.
that. All right, Putra. Samaja,
Yeah,
what's your why?
repeating the question?
What's your why? And
Why?
then what keeps you going on into your journey?
Honestly, personally, for me, it's quite simple. I do everything for my family alone, and I don't know. To me, it's like to see that my family achieves a certain form of financial freedom brings me joy. So I strive to achieve that, and I do things for myself. It's quite straightforward. It's a very safe answer, I would say.
Yes, thinking yourself and thinking for others is fine. It's quite straightforward. Like, all right. Questions, committee, any questions? Okay, MC is gonna read the questions and then wait.
Thank you to our invited moderator and speakers for such a thought-provoking discussion. So we will now open the floor for a live question and answer session from the participants. If you have any question or would like to share something, kindly raise your hand and our usher will bring the microphone to you. Please also introduce yourself by stating your name before speaking. Thank you.
So the question is like you have mentioned who are you gonna question. So for example, introduce yourself. My name is this. I would have a question, for example, Sophie, and then you just give a question. And also I'll give you a chance to I want everyone to answer can. Create chaos when you have the option can.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Firas from UTV.
Walaikum salam.
I have 3 questions, by the way. Is there
Say like this.
is there a
one
limit?
by one, please?
All right.
It's gonna be too overwhelming. And
Sure.
who are you directing towards?
One is a general question, one is towards Adib, and one is towards Putra. So
I think
which
the
one?
first one, Usama Hamam.
I don't mind which one.
But like 1, 2, 3. Whoever is like the odd one gets the first question. Okay, Sophie, you in? Okay, 1, 2, 3, bersam. 1, 3, one more, bersam. Okay, you got the question. Question 1 goes to
All
Sophie.
right. Question 1 goes to Sophie. All right. So for the first question, how can we maintain the Bruneian identity in the era of fast information, where exposure from social media can influence the younger generation much easily?
Why did I have to be the odd one?
That's why it's called the game of chance.
Oh dear. Could you expand that a little?
So in simpler terms, like currently the era is what do you call this? Global information goes faster in and out of Brunei, right? So with the younger generations, they're much more exposed to social media, and it might affect our Bruneian identity for the younger generations. So is there any way that we can do to maintain our Bruneian identity in this era?
I think this all goes down to the people, the children. We're specifically talking for the younger youth, yeah. So I think that goes down to the people they're surrounded by. So this includes like the family, cousins, educators, right, and their friends. So I think it's important for us as adults, if we want to implement or share these with the children and pass this along, have to share, have to push this onto kids. And I think kids are only exposed to what they want to see, like playful stuff. But let's say if you're a kid who doesn't know anything, but your family tells you all these stories about like Brunei and so on, that creates a spark, the youth, to actually be like, okay, I can go search that online now. And because it's so accessible information, they're able to find it themselves. But if you want to streamline that for the youth so that they do maintain their identity in Brunei or Shemor, that is really on the youth are surrounded by to really push, hey, remember this is who you are, and let me share this with you. As I also understand that it's also hard to find some information about Brunei. It is not easy. Most of it is by books. So it's all about word of mouth, sharing always like being with the kids and expressing this is interesting. You should look at
All right, thank you for your answer. Moving on to Adib. So, from your experience in leadership, what qualities of or traits a leader should have to foster strength, longevity, and trust within the group?
So you start now.
Okay, to answer your question, I think yang the answer I've said before, yeah, small talk. From small talk, you can actually bring to a deeper talk. So from knowing someone, salah, from someone who you don't know, you have small talk, and then day by day, inshallah, one day, you will have that bone, and then maybe you can share your personal experience or maybe problems that you haven't talked about. And on top of that, leadership is not only just by talking, it's not only by just giving instruction, but you that leads the team. And also, it's you that listens to others. So being a leader is not just only going forward, but also looking backward. Yeah.
Thank you so much. A follow-up question to that. What about in groups where there's 25 or 30 people?
Or 25 to 30 people. Okay. For that one, is it someone you know or someone you don't know?
Someone you're delegated towards to. You're assigned a group of people, and how do you maintain the trust and ensure the strength?
Okay. So building a trust is something payah lah sebenarnya. But kalau contoh, you have apa ni, a task between the groups, and then you you didn't see someone who can speak up. You must speak up and be be the leader. Because kalau tak dibiarkan sampai bila amongst the group there won't be someone leading. Because yeah, between the 25 to 30 people maybe mostly diorang na kenal each other kan. So itulah, from the talking stage we can talk about their interests, and then from there on we can build trust and maybe solve the problems that have given that have been given to our group. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's in summary, so one-on-ones are important lah.
Yeah.
All right.
Very
Okay,
important.
thank you. All right. Moving on to Putra. It's a quick question, Bulang. So, in establishing a company, what's an important aspect of businesses in Brunei that most entrepreneurs overlook?
That's a very good question. I feel like for most cases in Brunei, ethical wise, in a way. I know this is a very sensitive topic, but yeah, you know what I mean. But to put it in simple terms, when you start a business in Brunei, you're required to have a certain form, a 16, 17 to be exact. But as we all know, not everyone has that. Not everyone know. They don't even know about it. So I don't entirely blame it on them. At the same time, I'm not pointing fingers to anyone, but it's best that you learn this market itself first, and it's best that you do the research. And yes, I do believe that yes, you can start business anytime, but at the same time, you got to follow the legal laws because you don't want to be intertwined with something entirely right. So yes,
All right, thank you, Putra. So, in summary, ethics and formalities lah.
yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so
Great, thank you so much for the question. All right, nice. Wait, next question. Any question? I thought I saw hands just now.
Hello. Hi, my name is Shifa. I don't represent the organization. here on my own. Yeah. My question is for Sophie and Adib and Farhanif. Sorry, Putra, I don't have a question for you. Please don't feel left out. Okay, Sophie, being in a great industry, being in a great industry right now is not. It's very. What do you say? It's not really the primary goal. What our past generation wanted to do. So, but I would just like to know from your opinion, what will you think the creative industry will be in Brunei? Is it going to be in 5 years? What's your best scenario?
I think for the creative industry in Brunei has actually been growing for the past few years already. In mind, I say that creative industry does not mean singularly traditional arts. It means advertisement, media. This also expands to cultural sharing, industries, dancing, and so on. So a lot of what I've seen, at least, Brunei has been pushing a lot of these stories out, a lot of these like sharing cultures and so on. So I do have a lot of hope that Brunei in the future will continue to really progress and share a lot more of these, a lot more stories, share a lot more of our heritage, and more about Brunei's people, what we can do. So I can see a lot everywhere I go. There's so many creatives. So that means that you're marketing creative, you're someone who's good with your hands and crafts, or someone who's good at dancing, or even singing. You know? There's so many things that the creative industry can do for Brunei, and there's so much potential, and I've been seeing a lot of growth. So I have so much hope that in the next 5 years we'll continue to share more of our stories as we are currently doing now, and all the best. I definitely see a lot of good things coming.
Okay, thank you, Sophie. So for the next question is for Adib. Oh wait, let's start with Marhanif. Sorry, because Adib talks longer, and you're and it's
She's not even hinting. Straight up.
sorry. Okay, Marhanif. You talked about when you lost, you needed emotional support from your friends and your family. I'm just really curious. If you win, how do you celebrate? Good question, right?
Yeah, it's a good
Very
question.
good
Yeah,
question.
True.
Hey, everyone wants to know that.
Alright. So yeah, kalau kalah, of course need motivation. But then kalau menang, happy tapi still you need to get back ke rumah dan on court untuk training ni because your pihak lawan getting better and better and better, so you need to stay 2 step ke depan lah, so like to maintain your kemenangan itu, just to get the title like top Bruneians lah. Yes. So, I hope that answer your questions.
Okay. So do you celebrate your friends and your family juga?
That one, yes. For that one, we have like a dinner with the friends and the supporters lah. Tapi not all lah. We just the close one.
Lepas makan ke Jazba, lepas tu training balik.
Yes.
Steak first. We go
Join
steak first, then trading.
Join. Dinner dulu baru training. Kalau kamu join DM saja.
Itu open for DM tu. Kita.
Okay, thank you, Marhanif.
Thank you.
So next, Adib Zaki. Because this is a good question, actually. You talked about how the next generation needs to start now. So I'm just wondering how our generation can be a catalyst to help them start now.
I like
Kan
her.
panjang ni karang jawapan.
I like her.
How can we
No, he
help?
can't take his time. Start now.
Please let.
Baba, boleh lah.
Okay, so you talked about how the next generation can start now. How can our generation be a catalyst for the next generation to start now?
So bright.
Okay, so before we invite the next generation to start now, we actually need to start now. Now, Benar-benar because if
Jangan beri saya.
hindi pasal because if we apa macam ada chances we have volunteering activities tapi tak ni ambil so sama ada juga we apa belum start so we need to start and then before we apa bawa the next generation to for them to start we ourselves need to dulu develop our skills dulu develop our communication skills so that orang ni their influence to join bukan saja hanya omong kosong ya yes kalau tadi cakap banyak tapi in the influence macam apa macam pedah je bunyinya macam tu lah tapi macam pedah je bunyinya tapi adalah we need to be the one who can influence others by starting now we can influence our generation and then maybe by then 5-10 years we can be a catalyst to invite the young generation to also help us on sama-sama mencapai wawasan Brunei 2025 lah. And then by doing so, we can actually create a youth that not only focus on volunteering, tapi diorang jadikan satu volunteering ni sebagai satu healing spot. Because when you volunteer, you put all your tanggungjawab aside and then you focus on this volunteering activity. So it's actually a good initiative for mental health. And also for some, it's a healing spot because they can share, they can be crazy, they can do whatever they want because they are not stuck with academics and so on. Yeah, I hope that answer your question.
Okay, follow up-nya.
Boleh.
Yeah. Anu saja. So what's one small thing we can do? Small thing. Yeah.
Small thing. Actually, by us smiling, sebenarnya is one motivation. Benar. Macam contoh tadi ni kenal orang kan, lintas. Tadi tu cuma saja. Ini I have encountered 1,000 times lah. Maybe more than thousands. Macam contoh, orang yang aku ni kenal, tadi jalan kan senyum, bagi salam. Automatic orang tu senyum je. Dan itu sebenarnya bukan saja satu motivation, tapi sedekah sebenarnya for us and then for them juga. Maybe diorang terfikir maybe for a few weeks, for a few months, for a few years, maybe they will do the exact same thing to others. So influence dari senyum itu pun sudah menggembirakan seseorang lah. And then for us to
what's small? Soalanku what small? Sudah jawab.
Senyum sudah
Senyum.
tapi kalau dari segi volunteering we can actually
start now.
Dari walaupun orang nampak macam contoh tadi ikut sampah, buang sampah. So itu pun sebagai satu volunteering lah sebenarnya. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Adib. So summary-nya, small things can make a change.
True.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for your question. Okay. We can only fit one last question, but we have to make it short. Thank you so much. Your name and then who are you gonna give this question to?
Raz,
Hello, Maras.
not affiliated with any organization. This one goes to Putra. I'm hopefully wanting to go into business. I was just wondering, is there anything that you would do differently? Anything you regret? Because I think I'm considered as one of the younger generations you guys were talking about.
Remember his face. You start now already? Hello?
Not you guys. Yes, dia cakap pasal younger generation.
Oh.
Do you mind rephrasing it one more time?
Since I'm what you guys would consider the younger generation, I'm wondering what you would do anything differently in business.
Honestly, from my perspective itself, I wouldn't do entirely apa. I wouldn't do anything entirely different from what I did in the past. Because I do feel like everyone's different and everyone have their own styles of doing their businesses. So matter whether or not you fail or succeed in life, I feel like it's best that you experience these things beforehand. That's how you learn mistakes that the mistakes that you get while doing business. So personally, for me, I wouldn't change anything differently with regards to my past because I've genuinely learned from my mistakes that I did. And as for you, since you're aspiring to be a businessman, I suggest you do it now, not later. And at the same time, don't be scared and falter. Make sure that you're doing everything correctly. Make sure that, well, for me personally, I try to be different from others. I offer services that is not entirely known. That's how you try. That's when research comes in. So at the same time, don't be scared of failing because when it comes to entrepreneurship, you're bound to fail, and that's just a part of the progress itself.
Thank you. Yeah, that's all for me.
All right, thank you so much for the last question. So thank you to our panelists for today's insight and also to the audience. Remember, today we say we start now, tomorrow, but we hope that today's discussion has inspired you, given a fresh new perspective, even though the script balik-balik ka na pakai. And also it gives a new perspective on the different fields that our youth in part of the Brunei, what was it, 2035, and in shaping Brunei itself from storytelling, volunteerism, activism, or even entrepreneurship. So let's continue to support and celebrate the passion and resilience of our icons. So also recognize their impacts each one of us can make along the way. So remember, today's icon Anak Brunei, the crossover. I thought the committee would say something about the icon Anak Brunei. Malas ko, ah. But again, thank you once again, and remember everyone, start now. Start now, not later. All right, MC, over to you. Anerta, put that on a pillow.
Thank you, Omar. That was truly an engaging and a fruitful session. We'd like to extend our sincere thanks to our moderator once again and speakers for their valuable insights today. Now, we'd like to show our heartfelt appreciation to our invited moderator and speakers for their time and contributions today. We invite the President of Vil-laju Brunei, Nabila Ashahira, to present the tokens of appreciation. First, let us invite our moderator for the day, Omar Shahira. And now our esteemed speakers. First, we have the national badminton athlete Marhanif Ali. And next, we have youth changemaker Adib Zaki. And next, the lovely illustrator Sophie Kiho. And last but not least, our local horologist, Putra Mashor. Now, we would like to invite the moderator and all speakers for a group photo session. We also kindly invite everyone as well to join in for a group photo together to capture this special moment. Hey, everyone squeeze in. Freestyle, masuk Borneo Bulletin ni. May we kindly request all participants to return back to your seats and take a few minutes, 5 minutes, to complete the post-event survey. Your feedback will be very valuable to us. Thank you. The post-event survey QR code is right in front of you. You may scan it and fill in the survey. Thank you.